This is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. There's another paid request, this time for Broad Stipe. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of review, topic, reaction, re-review, commentary, ranking list, pretty much anything, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the film Stuck from 2007, which was sadly the last Stuart Gordon film. I say sadly because, we've lost a lot of good horror directors because of time. Wes Craven, Tobe Hooper, Larry Cohen, Stuart Gordon. So a lot of them are no longer with us. And one of the only ones is John Carpenter. David Cronenberg, if you count his older work, but I mean, a lot of them are gone. And Stuart Gordon, I mean, this is a guy that made Fortress, which was a good one with Christopher Lambert, or as he's called, Christophe Lambert, a sci-fi action movie that takes place in this futuristic prison. Always enjoyed that Fortress. That might be my favorite Stuart Gordon film. He also did Reanimator. He did this film called Dolls, which I always enjoyed. Always had like a creepy poster with a doll holding the eyeball. Again, I'm not sure what a top 5 Stuart would be, but I know Fortress would be number 1 for me. I know at one point Arnold Schwarzenegger was a fan of Reanimator, and him and Stuart Gordon were going to do a film, I think in the late 80s, something about like a bodybuilder that goes insane. I forget the details of it. It sounded interesting. Well, I'd like to have seen it. But Stuck is based on a true story, a very sad true story, where I want to say it was at Fort Worth, Texas. That's not where this takes place in, but the real story is in Texas. A woman hit a guy, and the guy was stuck in the windshield of a car. And the girl drove the car home, and in the real life story, which thankfully they didn't go in that direction, they went in a much more satisfying direction, but in the real story, the woman went home, the guy was stuck in the windshield, and she let the guy die out. She got rid of the body, and then I guess later on she was bragging about it. Because her, and then fucking they arrested her, and that's how the story got out there. So this story follows that, but again goes in its own direction at the end to a much more satisfying conclusion. Now the actors, you have Mena Suvari as the girl. In this film she's a healthcare worker, and she possibly will get a promotion. Things are going well. She's driving home one night, a bit drunk, and she hits this guy, played by Stephen Ray. Now, Stephen Ray, another good actor. I think he's most famous for being in The Crying Game. I think that's the film that gets him probably the most notice. He was in the Hilary Swank film, The Reaping. He's a good actor, and I would say this is one of his best performances. And you really, at least in my opinion, I really liked his character. I felt sorry for this character. He is losing his home. He doesn't know what to do. He's getting kicked out. The guy's being an asshole, saying, "No, you're not taking your clothes. You're leaving your shit here." Well, yeah, but I need clothes. I have this possible job interview. No. And he has to sneak out with his clothes. The clerk screwed up. They didn't put his name in the machine right, so he misses his appointment. Not by his doing. He doesn't know what to do. And the only guy being nice to him is a homeless guy. Say, "Hey, you don't have a home? You know what? You don't need one of these." Gives him a shopping cart. I was actually hoping that homeless guy would come back later and maybe help out Stephen Ray. But that didn't happen. And then, worst of the worst, he's just minding his own business, and this drunk bitch hit him. And I thought it was well done. The crash, slow motion, going right into the windshield, and he gets stuck. Like in this windshield, he's stuck. Part of the glass is impaling him, and he can't quite get out. He's knocked out. And she drives home, gets out of the car, and doesn't know what to do. Calls her boyfriend, and it's like, well, maybe I'll just let him die out, and well, I'll get my boyfriend to take care of it. And then Stephen Ray has to try to get out of this situation where he's stuck in this windshield. Now, there is a part of me that wonders if this is a concept that would work better as an episode of like Tales from the Crypt. Like if this was like a 45-minute, 50-minute episode. I'm not sure if it works as a full-length film because you know, you can only do so much with the concept. But it's an interesting concept. Like I said, to take this true story and work with it. I think Stuart Gordon does a rather good job. Although the opening of the film I always felt it was weird. It was a weird way to open the film because we're in the hospital where Mena Suvari works and is going across the different patients. But it's playing this out of the blue rap song with the N-word here and the N-word there word, here word, everywhere N-word. Old Sam Jackson had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. He said N-word there and a motherfucker there. Motherfuck, mother this, motherfuck, fuck that. But it's like, for this film, with this premise and directed by Stuart Gordon, it's just weird for it to open with this out-of-the-blue rap song. And then the title stuck. You have this cartoonish crash, like sound effect, and then stuff explodes. I'm like, that's kind of like how a comedy would happen. It just, and then Mena Suvari takes care of this guy, and he shit his bed, so he turns over, you see all this shit. I'm like, I just see people watching the first 5 minutes of it and going, what the fuck is this? I think that's how I felt when I first saw it. What the fuck? I see an old guy with a bunch of shit on his ass. This rap song that does not work. The way they have the title, I'm like, oh my god. But if you stick with it, you actually get a pretty decent film. Pretty decent survival story. Again, I don't know if... I guess either A, I would like more of just from Stephen Ray's point of view, where we're with him most of the time, and him trying to get out, he doesn't know what to do, what not to do. Is the person coming back? Is she not coming back? Will I reach for this, reach for that? Much more from his point of view, centered on him. But it keeps going back to me, Suvari, what she's doing. I just would have preferred the other option. But, like I said, Stephen Ray does a good job. I thought the makeup, when you see the up close of his injuries and the glass inside him, Stuart Gordon's horror background definitely helped in that nature. Like I said, the finale is satisfying, and you really feel sympathy for Stephen Ray's character. He's trying all he can. He's just the phone, but there's a low battery. He tries to reason with Mena Suvari. He even goes, listen, it was an accident. I know it was an accident. I'll tell the cops that. It's fine. Like, just get me to the hospital, please. Stephen Ray's not doing something stupid or dumb. He's just being a reasonable guy, especially the situation. And Mena Suvari, oh, you just, at least for me, just hated her character. With her fucking cornrows. I'm like, you're right, chick. Why do you have cornrows? And just being so selfish and only caring about herself so that when the comeuppance happens, it's satisfying because she's also not the brightest bulb and the sharpest tool in the shed. And spoiler alert for the ending. I would say if you like Stuart Gordon, if the concept at all interests you, it's not a long film. Like I mentioned, if you wonder what that noise is, it's the cat trying to get in. But I can't because I just sprayed the room, so I don't want the cat to breathe that in. Stop it! Even he wants to see this film, apparently. So I'll just... bear with me. What are you doing? Stop it. I'll show her on camera one bit. There you go. There, you made a cameo appearance. Is that okay? when I say I sprayed on the walls, and again, he can't talk. He just says, he won't do it on camera though. So he did. Come on, get. Yeah. Sorry about that. I know there's some people that hit their cats. I don't, because I don't think that does anything, and it's wrong to me. So I just move them somewhere else. And they're not hurting anybody. He didn't do anything bad. He just wanted in, so I don't know. I think there's some people that over. I don't do that because it's not for me. I just move them along, and they'll get the head eventually. Again, they're not doing anything wrong or bad, so there's no point. I just don't like. Anyway, that's another topic. There's some people that like, no, no. I just don't do that, so. You pussy, yeah. I like pussy. I also like cats, so I just don't do that. Anyway. But yeah, that's one that can't actually meow, so when it does, it's like... So. But, yeah. They're not too bad to take care of, because at least they mostly leave you alone, and, you know... I mean, I'm going off tangent, sorry. I'll leave that in, because lo and behold, no, I'm not a professional critic. I did not go to school for journalism or criticism. But guess what? Most people on YouTube did it, but there's people that try to act as if, I am a professional critic. Look how HDDD I am, and look at me with my edits. And I'm like, dude, you're still a person who's doing a video on fucking YouTube. You're not Cisco and Ebert. You're not a doctor or lawyer. You're not saving people's lives. You're just a person with a camera talking about a movie or a silly topic. Anyway. But, like I said, the ending of the film, spoiler alert, it's satisfying because the boyfriend tries to kill him, but he stabs him in the eye and pushes the pin to the guy's brain. I mean, Suvari tries to kill him, but he's able to get the car and crush her legs. And then he's ready to burn her, but then he's actually a human being. She begs for, even though she don't fucking deserve it, didn't, because he's a good guy. He's like, fine, I won't. But then she tries to shoot him, and from her stupidity, she dies from her own hand, because she's a moron. That was kind of serendipity and irony fulfilled. She burns herself, and as the moron she is, as Stevie Ray is able to get out of there. And like I say, it's a satisfying little independent direct-to-video movie. Like I said, I enjoyed the story. I do think the pacing, again, I would have preferred even more on Stephen Ray, his focused point of view of his character stuck in, just you're in this claustrophobic state, what can you do? The boyfriend character, he was okay, but you can tell he's a guy who's tougher. He acts tougher than he really is. I think that was the point of it. He likes to talk tough. Oh yeah, I've done all this before, but then when it really gets into it, he's very uneasy. So he's a guy that talks the talk but doesn't quite walk the walk. That's how I viewed it. So overall, again, interesting story. Like I said, Sally was the basis of real life, but thankfully, again, they want a much more satisfying ending to the story. And that's what I'm talking about. You can have it based on a true story, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have to have a satisfying ending. This case in point. And for Stuart Gordon's last film, I think it's actually one of his better movies. That's not always the case for people who make a film. And like, Stuart Gordon didn't pass away until a couple years ago, so this was 2007, so at least 10 years he didn't get to work. At least 10 years he didn't get to work. Which is sad, because he's a talented director, but stuck as a film no one's heard of, didn't do anything, so thus didn't get more work, which is sad, but that's just how the the business is. So I say, if you like Tales from the Crypt type of episodes, if you like the concept, uh, like I said, it's despite the awkward opening, Stephen Ray, like I said, gives a sympathetic performance. The idea is quirky enough to make it seem unique. Like I haven't seen too many films like this, which is nice to see, refreshing, especially in the state of movies today. And conclusion is satisfying. So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.